Hey, it's me, MLB! Here is the Top Delinquent Chapter 19, and this one is titled Safely in His Arms. DF sheepishly walked out of the room, head hung low as she clutched her arms around her torso. Come with me, Iida called to her as he turned for the front door. As I was on my way over here, I called the police. They should be here any minute. You were too ashamed and embarrassed to even pull your head back from Iida's chest, and so remained completely submissive, safe in his arms. DF and Iida talked about a few things as they stood at the entrance to the cottage. Then you heard the sirens approaching, and you clutched onto Iida harder. He felt your grip tighten, and adjusted his hold on you so that he could wrap an arm around your back, and placed another one on top of your head, holding you protectively against himself. You heard unfamiliar voices as the policemen hopped out of their cars and asked Iida where the assailants were, and from there the rest of the conversations were a bit of a blur as the shock from being inappropriately handled shut you down. Presently you were taken from Iida's arms, and you and DF went to the police station to put your statements in. Then you were taken to the hospital for testing. The both of you came up positive for semen, and the results were compiled in your files for use in court, should you wish to press charges, which you did. You were both kept overnight for observations, and you huddled together in the hospital bed and cried. DF apologised profusely for her stupidity, and you mentally beat yourself up for even allowing the situation to happen in the first place. Unbeknownst to you, Iida was already organising the court case. He had spent the next day calling lawyers and talking with his family solicitor, completely focused and blinkered by rage at the injustice that befell you. It is up to me to help her. She doesn't deserve this, and although I may never have my feelings for her returned, I will feel like I have shown my affections adequately by doing this, Iida thought as he rang his family solicitor for the 5th time that day. The next day your mum came to get you from the hospital. Your dad was off drinking again, and you hoped he wouldn't be home when you got there. You really didn't want to have to face anything right now. Shaken and upset, you just went straight to your room. Your mum had been talking to you, but you didn't hear any of it. Your brain had basically shut down. The day after that, you and DF didn't go to school, and Iida was worried about you, so decided to pay you a visit once the day was done. He had gotten your address from Mrs. Craig, who had heard that you had been in hospital and was also concerned about you. I am highly suspicious that Yin's parents may not be the nicest of people, judging by the bruising that I've seen on her, so I will need to be careful, but I will not hesitate to fight back should the need arise, Iida thought as he made his way to your house. All was quiet when he knocked on your door, and you heard the knock from where you were in your room upstairs. I'm not even going to answer that, you thought as you rolled over in bed. Just then your phone rang and you looked up at the number. Iida? You said out loud as you picked it up. Hey, you said into the receiver. Yin, I am outside your residence, he said. It's okay, I'll come down, you said quickly, as you hopped off the bed and ran for the stairs. Heart pounding, you ran to the door and flung it open, standing there a little lost for words. I came to check on you. I'm glad you're okay, he said softly as he adjusted his glasses, a soft blush on his cheeks as he looked away. Seeing Iida again brought everything back, and all your emotions spilled out as you reached for him and clung to his shirt, sobbing uncontrollably. He quickly wrapped you in a hug, whispering something about going inside, which you allowed. Shall we converse in the lounge area? Iida asked you. No, you said as your bottom lip quivered, fighting back tears so you could speak properly. Just come to my room. Iida stiffened slightly. He had never been in a girl's room before, and his pure heart wasn't ready for such a large step in your relationship, but he begrudgingly followed you as you led him up to your room. If you wished for him to enter, then he would do so. Please excuse me, Iida said as he bowed before stepping across the threshold into your bedroom. You can sit on the bed, it's fine, you said softly, as you crawled back onto your bed and sat down, crossing your legs. Iida sat stiffly on the edge, hands balled into soft fists as he placed them gently on his knees and stared straight ahead, looking as if he were about to have his school picture taken. Would you lighten up? You said with a half chuckle as you wiped tears from your eyes. You look so stiff. I've never been in a girl's room before, he said seriously as he turned his head to look at you, and I do not know the appropriate procedure. It's not a military ward, you scoffed. It's just my room, you said as you gestured around you. Okay, so, like a dump, but still, it's just a room. Iida nodded as he looked at you, his eyes refusing to leave yours, so you looked away first. Yin, he said softly, his voice striking you to the core with tenderness. How are you doing? Truly. You broke down again. sobbing into your hands as you admitted that you'd been having nightmares and you hadn't really told your parents about what had happened, explaining that they weren't really the supportive type anyway. Iida listened quietly and slowly shuffled up the bed towards you. He had become a beacon of safety to you, and you didn't hesitate to crawl over to him and curl up in his arms, letting him comfort you. I have arranged everything to see him put behind bars for good, and to make sure that you are adequately compensated for his sickening actions, Iida said as he held you. Although it won't be able to repay for what he did to you, it may help, even just a little. Thank you, you whispered as you clung to him. I really mean it. You are most welcome, Yin, he said as he rested his chin on your head. There appears to be progress between us as people. She is more open to thanking, he thought as he squeezed you gently. Where do I sign up to get a cuddle from Iida? That would be just really lovely. Stay tuned for chapter 20 coming tomorrow.